let's just roll right into the next segment, okay? Because when all of this is going on and we're hitting these tipping points where we could all be dead in a couple decades or a couple years, we're talking about tailpipe emission standards.
Yes, because these are the types of battles that the political landscape makes it possible for us to fight right now. So new tailpipe emissions regulations came out from the EPA. And they were actually seen as relatively good for greenies, for environmentalists, right? It's going to require automakers to have over half of their new vehicles sold be fully electric or hybrid by 2032. So that sounds, again...
sounds great.
Compared to what we're currently at, that is great. We sold like 9% of new vehicles were EVs last year, which is nothing.
Nothing.
Hilariously nothing. And it does, so it imposes this rule by lowering the average emissions limit for the automakers. The reason that it was seen as good also is because politically, entities like the UAW and the auto manufacturers, they have been fighting against these tailpipe emissions limits because they want to be able to keep selling gas-powered cars. And so Biden, who's now in an election year, but also wants to pass a rule that isn't going to get a ton of blowback from people all over the country, this is the best he could do, basically. This half measure. So
it's just great to see that we're talking about like the destruction of the Gulf Stream, the destruction of the ice caps, and we're trying to figure out, can we still, like, how much gas can we burn in our cars?
Yeah.
By like a decade from now.
Exactly. This isn't happening for 8 years and we're already hitting these points. And of course, even this rule, to show the political like backlash, this will immediately be challenged in court. Immediately. Red states are going to bring it. The Louisiana Attorney General has already said, the government can't do this. We're going to sue. We're going to take it to the Supreme Court, and they're going to be prevented from doing it.
Hey, Ben, guess what a court of appeals Louisiana is in? The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Yeah,
Classic.
exactly.
The most conservative court of appeals in the United States.
Yes, and the Supreme Court already has a history. A few years ago, they had a decision to restrict the EPA's power to regulate the vehicle or the auto industry. So it's automatically on the rocks. It is important that the administration is producing these regulations, and they need to produce more climate regulations fast. Yeah. Because as long as their regulations are finalized 60 days before the end of a presidential term, they cannot be eliminated with a simple majority vote in Congress. So they're going to be racing to produce all of these before the election, basically. Yeah. And I think they'll get them through.
That's a lot we're going to see a lot of big Biden wins over the course of the next 4 months. A lot right now.
I guess, Biden wins. Political wins?
Probably not political wins.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right? This is not a political win, but a policy win.
Yeah.
Right? They're not always the same thing.
Policy win in terms of passing something, at least. Yes, something happening. You just don't know what the public response is going to be.
Exactly.
So, that's...
Glad our hearts are in the right place, at least, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. Trying their best.